Have you ever had a dream that wouldn't leave you alone? A business idea, a book, or a vision for a better life? Yet every year you tell yourself, and maybe next year. But what if the timing is never perfect? What if the only thing standing between you and the life you want is one decision? That's why I wrote Quit or Shut Up. This is about the mindset and discipline to finally finish what you started. Discover how to overcome fear, build momentum, and turn your vision into reality in the next 90 days. Quit or Shut Up launches July 22nd. Pre-order your copy today at quitorshutup.com. Stop waiting, start building. Will you quit or will you shut up and get to work?
Can I tell you something? Can I tell you the truth? There are people right now sitting on powerful stories, powerful ideas, and powerful experiences. But they keep overthinking, delaying, doubting themselves, and waiting for the perfect moment to finally release it. However, what if your story was never meant to stay trapped inside your head? What if somebody is waiting on the very message you keep second guessing? Tonight, we are not just talking about writing a book. We are talking about building something that actually helps people. And on that note, I will be right back. And we will discuss more on how to turn your idea into an offer.
Welcome to the future of the game. This is the Marketing Lab. We don't just build brands, we build legacies. It's time to quit playing or shut up. From the academy to the university, we're redefining elite education. Creative genius meets relentless execution. This is where the magic happens. The Marketing Lab. Join the movement and let's build your legacy together. Let's go.
What's up, fam? Welcome back to the Marketing Lab, where we learn how to stop guessing and start building with intention. I'm your host, Coach LJ, and tonight we are talking about something that keeps a lot of entrepreneurs stuck for years. Too many ideas, too many unfinished projects, too many directions, and too much building, and not enough execution. See, a lot of people do not fail because they lack talent. They fail because they never simplify their value enough for people to understand it. They keep building everything instead of building one thing that solves one real problem. And fam, I want you to hear me carefully tonight. An idea does not become powerful because it sounds impressive. It becomes powerful when it becomes useful. That changes everything. So tonight, we are going to talk about how to turn your idea into an actual offer, how to stop overwhelming your audience, how to create clarity, and how to build something people are willing to invest in. Because confusion does not convert, clarity does. And that brings us to the first thing many entrepreneurs must confront. Stop building everything for real. Stop building everything. And fam, one of the biggest mistakes entrepreneurs make is trying to solve every problem at once. They create 10 services, 5 programs, 3 audiences, 4 offers, and no clear plan, and wonder why nobody buys. But let me tell you something. People do not buy complexity. People buy clarity. Even Harvard Business Review talks about how organizations lose momentum when they try to do too much at once. Focus creates execution power. And this is especially important when you are just starting out. See, many entrepreneurs think that more options make them look more valuable, but often more options create more confusion. I learned this myself. There were moments when I had too many visions, ideas, directions, and many unfinished systems. I was building emotionally instead of strategically. And emotionally driven building usually creates inconsistent execution. That is why I tell entrepreneurs, stop building everything. Build one thing clearly first. One clear offer, one clear transformation, one clear solution. Because when people immediately understand what you do, whom you help, and what problem you solve, trust begins to grow. And trust is what converts attention into business. Now, once you simplify your focus, the next thing becomes identifying the actual problem you solve, which we will call one problem, one solution. Here is where many entrepreneurs struggle. They talk too much about themselves instead of the pain their audience is experiencing. But business growth usually happens when people feel understood. Bill Cutler, one of the most respected voices in marketing, explains that clarity around customer pain points strengthens brand positioning and buying behavior. So instead of asking, what do I want to sell? Ask, what problem keeps my audience frustrated? That changes the entire conversation. For example, people do not buy coaching. They buy clarity, confidence, accountability, systems, and direction. People do not buy books. They buy solutions, transformation, hope, understanding, and progress. That means your offer should answer a painful question. Something like, how do I stay consistent? How do I stop restarting? How do I finally organize my vision? How do I grow without burning out? How do I market without feeling faint? And fam, when your message solves emotional frustration, your office becomes more powerful. Because now your audience feels seen, and once people feel understood, they start listening differently. That is why strong marketing is not just about information. It is about emotional clarity. And that emotional clarity leads us into the next important piece. Your offer needs a transformation. One reason people struggle to sell their ideas is that they explain features instead of transformation. Let me explain. People do not really care about modules, PDFs, lessons, worksheets, or videos first. What they care about is, who will I become after this? People are not just buying information. Research from Carol Dweck, Work on Mindset, shows people are motivated by who they believe they can become. That is what people buy. Transformation. That means your offer should communicate movement from confusion to clarity, inconsistent to discipline, fear to confidence, scattered thinking to execution. This is why Quit or Shut Up connects emotionally. It speaks directly to people tired of having to restart emotionally. It addresses identity, and identity-driven messaging is powerful because people want to become a stronger version of themselves. And fam, your audience is not just investing financially. They are investing emotionally and possibility. When your offer helps them believe progress is possible, momentum begins. Now, once your transformation becomes clear, you must package it simply because simplicity sells. And fam, complicated office scares people. Simple office invites people in. Barry Schwartz talks about something powerful called decision fatigue. Too many choices overwhelm people, and simplicity increases action. This is why I always encourage entrepreneurs simplify your communication. Do not make people work hard to understand you. If your audience needs a 20-minute explanation to understand your offer, you may not yet have enough clarity. Strong offers usually sound simple. For example, learn how to market on a budget. Build discipline in 90 days. Turn your story into a business. Create structure for your goals. Simple, clear, direct, and simplicity creates confidence. I think sometimes entrepreneurs try to sound advanced instead of understandable. But understandability is what builds trust. Even Jesus taught through stories and clarity. People remember what they can emotionally connect to. So simplify your language, framework, promise, and process. When people quickly understand the value, decision making becomes easier. And now we arrive at something very important. Your offer should fit your ecosystem. And fam, your offer should not feel random. It should connect to your bigger vision. This is why ecosystems matter. The strongest brands today do not just sell products. They create ecosystems people can grow within. Everything should work together. Your content, community, coaching, books, podcasts, challenges, and programs should all support the same transformation. That creates alignment, and alignment creates momentum. For example, Quit or Shut Up is not just a book. It connects to the 90-Day Challenge, the Pulse of Marketing, the Now Academy, the Now University, community, and execution systems that create a journey. And people stay connected longer when they see a pathway for growth. And fam, long-term brands are not built on random content. They are built through intentional ecosystems, which means your audience should clearly understand where they start, how they grow, and what comes next. Now, before we close tonight, I want to leave with you a practical challenge. This week, I want you to answer this one question. What one problem does your offer solve? Who specifically needs this solution? What transformation will they experience? Then simplify your answer into one sentence, not 5 paragraphs, not complicated language. One clear sentence, because clarity builds confidence, and confidence creates movement. Structure matters. Accountability matters. Clarity matters. Research keeps proving that disciplined businesses survive longer than emotionally reactive ones. And fam, tonight was not just about business. It was about focus. Some of you do not need another idea. You need execution. Some of you do not need more inspiration. You need structure. And some of you do not need to build 10 things. You need to build one thing intentionally because one clear offer can change your entire business. And fam, have you ever started something and failed to finish? That is why I wrote Quit or Shut Up. Stick with it. How to transform your life and business in 90 days. This book is about discipline, consistency, and becoming the person who follows through. Quit or Shut Up launches July 22nd, 2026. Pre-order your copy today and join a movement of people committed to stopping excuses and starting execution. Remember, success belongs to those who stay in the game. Thank you for building with me on the Marketing Lab. And as I always remind you, you don't have to know how to sell, but you do have to know how to market. And remember, stop emotionally restarting and start executing intentionally. I'm Coach LJ, and I will see you in the next episode. And you already know what's coming next. Deuces! Peace!
Have you ever had a dream that wouldn't leave you alone? A business idea, a book, or a vision for a better life? Yet every year you tell yourself, and maybe next year. But what if the timing is never perfect? What if the only thing standing between you and the life you want is one decision? That's why I wrote Quit or Shut Up. This is about the mindset and discipline to finally finish what you started. Discover how to overcome fear, build momentum, and turn your vision into reality in the next 90 days. Quit or Shut Up launches July 22nd. Pre-order your copy today at quitorshutup.com. Stop waiting. Start building. Will you quit or will you shut up and get to work?